he went to visit the Oba of Lagos, Adeniji Adeli. He was in Mama was there, Chief Rotimi Williams was there, Alhaji Gbadamoshi was there, Chief Akinloye was there. And I was there. I was sat on his lap. I think I was like maybe 5 years old or 4 years old. So they used to take me to those. But when I grew much older, I used to take it upon myself to just go and accompany him to some of these meetings. I did that. I remember the special congress in October 1982, where the congress was held at the National Theatre, the European Congress, where they needed to thrash out the issue of primaries at the time. It was causing so much tension in the party, and it was just, threatening the success of the party at the elections the next year. So, for reasons that I don't know, I can't remember why, rather than go to my office, I just drove to Park Lane and accompanied him to that meeting. And then after I had been at that meeting for a little while, I left for my office. Then I left my office again to come back to come and see what had happened. So, I was, I think by that time I had developed a kind of, I don't know whether you can call it compassion for him, because I saw his struggles, I saw his passion, and I just wished other people would see it and acknowledge it and cut him some slack,
What were the kind of books he read? Were there some special books? Because in one of his memoirs, he listed some books he was reading. At the beginning, he didn't believe in God.
He did, and then he had some doubts. He went through a doubting period, and then he came back fully. Yes, he was. He belonged to the Fabian Society and all of that.
He was a member of the Rosicrucian Order?
Yes, he was, and he rose quite high in that.
How did you know? He didn't hide it from the children?
No, he didn't. It wasn't a secret at all.
Okay.
He used to go to their conventions in San Jose, in California, and he used to go there. I don't remember whether it was an annual convention or whatever, but he used to go there. So he read those books. His favorite was one little book whose title I forget the title now, but it was a book about the philosophy of life. Did I say he played music?
No.
I didn't tell you.
No.
He has a harmonium. You will see the harmonium in the museum too. And anytime he traveled, that harmonium was always his hand luggage, because he couldn't afford to lose it. So he played that. I don't know all the other books that he read.
Okay.
Who knows what Papa used to read? He read everything. He read everything, anything that would teach him, or when he was doing research for a book. For example, in his book, Thoughts on the Nigerian Constitution, he said he had researched the constitutions of all the nations in the world. And then he went on to itemize them, which meant that he actually had read all those constitutions and read about all those countries. And then he came to his conclusion that in a country that is multilingual, multinational, the best constitution is a federal constitution. And in a country that is unilingual, unicultural, the best constitution is a unitary constitution. And if you if you swap that, you always get into trouble.
Perhaps Nigeria got into trouble.
So, he was a very thorough person. And he read books to edify himself, but also he read books not only to edify himself, but to be of value to humanity. So, that was Papa.
Did he inculcate that reading habit into you?
Not really. I must confess to you. I read, but I'm not Papa. Papa was just Papa.
He was in a world of his own.
He was in a world of his own, and he lived for others. He had a divine mandate. His mission, and he was fortunate to have a wife like Mama, who was so supportive.
Mama had a lot of influence on him?
She did. But whenever there was an issue, I never saw them argue. Never. There was never an incident that they argued or they quarreled. I never saw that till Papa died. Never, ever. But Mama had a beautiful strategy. Beautiful. If there was an issue and Papa was saying, no, this is the way we're going, and Mama felt that she would let it go. Maybe a day or two later, she would now introduce it in a roundabout. She was the perfect woman, Mama. She would introduce it in the roundabout way, and by the time Papa agreed to her position, he wouldn't even know what happened. When I was a medical student and I was going into clinicals, the first 2 years you do anatomy, physiology, biochemistry, and that was just classwork. And then after that, you go into clinicals. And I studied in Bristol, in England. And those clinicals were in different hospitals. You had to travel to different hospitals for medicine, for surgery, for pediatrics, for psychiatry. You just kept traveling, and it wasn't easy. Mama came to visit me and thought, this isn't easy. You need a car. So when I came home on holiday, Mama said she needs a car. She can't be traveling to all those far-flung places on public transport. And Papa said, no. She's too young to have a car. So Mama said, okay. So Mama surreptitiously made arrangements to buy me a car in the UK, a brand new car. She bought it, and then when Papa came to visit, I think it was my final year. Yes, it was, a year before my final year. I was having pre-finals exams. So he came to Bristol. And I met him at the rail station. When we got there, we walked to the car. He didn't say anything to start with. And so when he got in the car and got comfortable, he said, so this is the car that your mom said she wasn't going to buy for you. I said, yes, this is the car. And we laughed it off, He was...
So Mama was that rich that she could buy you a car at that time?
Mama was richer than Papa at some point.
Mama was richer than
yes,
Papa?
She was working. She was an entrepreneur of the deepest dye. Mama would do. She sewed those dresses that she was seamstress. She was textile. She sold vehicles. She did everything.
She was a businesswoman.
She was a businesswoman. So when the crisis came, thank God she was a businesswoman. When the crisis came, she actually loaned money to the Action Group at some point, because I saw references to that in some of the letters that Papa wrote to her from the prison. In one of them, Papa was saying, don't ask for that money back because, you did what you needed to do and all of that. And she kept the home front running as well. Because when the situation got really bad and Papa felt that my sister, Mrs. Chode, and I, that our education might suffer, he said to Mama that she should ship us off to the UK. She could afford it.
She could afford it?
Mm-hmm. So she was the one that sent us off.
Awolowo in prison.
Mm-hmm.
The day you went to prison, what was the house like?
The day he was sentenced, I wasn't at home. It was in September. I think I was in school. But of course, it was a sad day, especially because our brother died tragically in a car accident on July 10. And one would have thought that on compassionate grounds, that the situation would be different. But I think it was September 11 he was sentenced. So it was a very sad time. That was the year that I sat for my school certificate as well. So I actually didn't think I would make it, but to God be the glory, I did.
You went to St. Anne, right?
Yes.
Ibadan.
I was a boarder. When our brother died, I stayed at home for the rest of that second term. But then I went back to school for the third term because the school starts certificate exam.
Your brother died while he was on his way to
Lagos.
To Lagos,
yes.
From Ibadan.
Yes.
And it has to do with the same Awolowo case, right?
Yes, he was going to see Papa.
He was a lawyer then?
Yes, he was a lawyer. He was a lawyer. He graduated from Cambridge University. He got a BA Tripos. They called it BA Tripos at that time. And then he was called to the bar at the Inner Temple, same as Papa. So, and then he immediately came back home in 1962. By the time he came back, they were already on restriction and house arrest, followed by the arrest for this treason trial. So, and he was holding fort at Papa's chambers in Ibadan. That was. Oh, he was a leader. He was bright. He was competent. I'm talking about my brother now. He was, he was a good son to have. He made them proud. He made all of us proud. Generous as well.
So Awolowo lost his first son.
Yeah.
And went to prison.
Yes.
Tragedy for the family.
Tragedy. All through.
State Affairs with Edmondo Bilo is live.
Splash FM 105.5.
Is it to open? Is it to squeeze? Is it to scoop and is it to stop?
Sonia Tomato Mix in a new stand-up pouch.
Secure your future at West Midlands Open University, WMOU. Are you an artisan, civil servant, market trader, businessman and woman, or fresh secondary school leaver? WMOU offers an affordable university education tailored just for you. With flexible installment payments, no JAMB requirement, and lectures received online in the comfort of your home. Getting a degree has never been easier. Enroll with your second